It's all about a second chance. We're here for a second chance. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Boy, have we got stuff to talk about tonight. Here we go. We got a here we go. Manchester United have got a here we go. But it's not exactly the here we go that we were hoping for, ladies and gents. It was, as it is always, another youth player. Another one. Fantastic. Manchester United making moves in the fucking crash. Kind of bit Biek from Le Havre, who's gone straight out on loan. What a day. What a day. That's 2 transfers in 2 days, Manchester United fans. That's 2 transfers in 2 days. What are we doing? Hey, we are making moves now. In all seriousness, we've got a bit to talk about tonight. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is Jadon Sancho. Can't believe I'm saying that. We all know my thoughts on Jadon Sancho. My God, it's hot tonight. You know my thoughts on Jadon Sancho, and you know where my issues are with him. However, Manchester United have to do something that I would never have thought I was going to say. We have to extend his contract. Manchester United, I said that, I'll say it again into the mic. Manchester United have to extend Jadon Sancho's contract. There. Why, you ask? I know you're asking why. This fool, as we know, is holding Manchester United to ransom. He's saying, I ain't going anywhere. I ain't going, okay? In the words of Wolf of Wall Street, I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving! That's what he's doing. Let's do ourselves a favour here, Manchester United fans of football clubs all across the world. Let's do ourselves a favour here. Let's have Manchester United take control of this situation. Let's have Manchester United flush out the rat, okay? And in saying that, I don't want him to sign to keep him and see if we can turn it around with him. I'm not wanting him to sign to have that shot of redemption. Manchester United know that Jadon Sancho is looking for that payday. He's looking for that payday. We know that. We absolutely know that. There has been plenty of talk about him waiting for that. Just run the contract down, maybe go out on loan, and then he gets that big wonga. He gets the signing on fee. He gets everything he's ever dreamed of. We absolutely have it within our power, and I can't believe I've not said this before, to stop that. So what we have is that 1-year extension for his contract. Now, stick with me on this. And if you are new, by the way, make sure you are liking and subscribing. We are very, very close to 300. And I will say a few hellos in a second to the chat. I haven't forgot you. Oh, geez. We need to extend the contract of Jadon Sancho. Because in doing that, I tell you what we do straight away. The power is gone from the player. Because I'm telling you what happens. Instead of him sitting there going, well, I won't do anything. You're going to have to pay me. There is no way at all that this guy is going to sit there and go, yeah, I'll wait for 2 years. Because what we can do with this is Manchester United can say, oops, we did it again. There's your contract extended. Now, Jadon, unless you want to sit and watch us training from the sidelines, you are going to have to accept a transfer. Why have we not thought about this before? And more importantly, this looks soaking, doesn't it? More importantly, why haven't Manchester United thought about this? Before I go into it any further, let's say hello to everyone. Say hello, Andy. Hope you're well. Hope you are well. It's me, Everest. I've seen you before, my friend. We've got Ben McLean. Hope you're doing awesome, mate. Hope you're doing awesome. Moxie. Remember you promised to sing something to me tonight, Dan. I do. Happy birthday to you. That's all I'm doing, though, because I only saved this. Danielle, it's the wife's birthday next week. I've got to save that further. Happy birthday, Moxie. Everybody give him a happy birthday in the chat. Give this man a happy birthday. What a guy. Mustafa, always there, always promoting as well. Thank you for turning up tonight. Paul, hope you are well, my friend. So let's go into this a bit more. Now, we know that Manchester United Sancho has links with Napoli and Juventus. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm a bit tired of these players fucking keeping us on our toes. I'm tired of these players dictating what they do, when they do it, and how they do it. Extending his contract absolutely says to me that we can then say, off you go. You have got to get a new contract. Take away the squad number like we've done with Rashford, and I think you'll see a change. I genuinely think you will see a change in the attitude of what this guy wants to achieve at the club. We know that there is no shot of redemption here. We know that Sancho has played his last game. We know that there is nothing between him and the fans. There's no affection anymore. So why are we playing into his hands? Why are we expecting him to go with one season left on his contract to play football for a club on loan where we have to pay the wages for him to then go get the money at the end? Make that make sense to me. That has to change. That has to absolutely change. Steve says he still won't leave, Dan. He'll sit back and take the cash. Do you know something, Steve? And I think, look, we're not signing anyone as it is anyway. So I literally think I'd be more inclined to call this twat's bluff. I would be more inclined to call his bluff and say, absolutely. By the way, you are due back at Carrington. We want you back at Carrington. You are training on the side there, doing weights, doing whatever. We've extended your contract, Jadon. Jadon, yeah, come here. Yeah, Jadon, you know you're looking for that. Yeah, I know you want that big payday, but yeah, we've extended it, mate. You're staying with us for 2 more years. United have to have the balls here. We have to have the bollocks to go, you ain't going nowhere. I'm shutting that fucking window. It's like the argument out there. Can you hear that? Yeah, so tell me where you are with this, guys. Tell me where your thoughts lie with Jadon Sancho and what happens if we were to extend that contract. Because for me, I think it's a no-brainer, you know. I think it's a no-brainer. Mustafa, yes, you completely are, my friend. There we go. See, that's what we do on this. And look at these happy birthdays. Look at these happy birthdays. Jamie, how are you, my friend? How are you? And great to have you on, Paul. Great to have you. Great to have you. Look at this, Moxie. You're getting loads. Temescan, I saw you on Metch's show last night asking for these players. But you have, right, hang on a minute. This comment here, it's happened. Manchester United have actually grinded you down. Sancho to Juventus, Douglas Luiz to United or Vlahovic. United is better for next season. I'm happy that you have given up the ghost of Vinicius Jr. That is never, ever, ever going to happen. Sancho's another mercenary from Woodward era. Well, we know this. We are still picking up the pieces of this. I fear that this will go on for a little longer yet as well. And he won't get the money anywhere else. He's a money-grabbing knob, says Steve. Yes, but this is what I'm saying, Steve. I've said a lot about Sancho's attitude in the fact that World Cup season, surely he'd want to go out and play football. Doesn't look like it at the moment. I feel like United are missing a trick here. I feel like we have to put the ball in his court now. I feel like we have to put the ball in his court and say, you're staying here for another 2 years. Last season, it was different because it was a loan with an option to buy with Chelsea. And in doing that, we all thought, end of the season, Chelsea are going to take him. That'll be him off the books. We won't have to think about him again. But look what happened. Lo and behold, they sent him back. They didn't want him. Well, with this now, I would even be open, right, to us extending that contract for another season and then getting him out of the club on a loan with an obligation. And I mean, no buyout clause, no paying $5 million to get him back. I think Manchester United have got to look about this the different way now. They've got to look outside the box. Think outside the box here. Stick with me on this. Mustafa says, I just want him sold, Dan. I'm with you, Mustafa. I'm with you. And look who it is, Valsey. Welcome. Hope you are well. Hope you are doing great. Can't stand him, Dan, saying freedom when he's been poor at Chelsea and United. But look, this just says everything about him, though, doesn't it? This says everything about the mentality of the bloke. He genuinely doesn't. I don't think he sees it the way that he should be seeing it. Now, you would have to say that his agent will have a big part of this with the payday because, look, the agent fees when he goes on a free transfer, they can command a bit more. But I think we just do this. Just take control of it. Absolutely take control of it. And as Andy says there, how can Amorim work his magic with negative entities around the squad? He wouldn't be around the squad though, Andy. I think we just sign him and then just banish him. We've got to scare these players into making a right decision here. Now, like, to be fair to Rashford, hang on, let me have a sec. I'm going to be needing that a lot tonight. To be fair to Rashford, I'll say this. He's coming back. He's getting his head down. He wants to move. We know he wants to move. In fact, I saw something. Let me show you this. I saw this, and I thought of you guys, and I thought, I've got to put this on. Have a look at this. This is one of the best things I've seen in a long time. Look at this. You ready? Look at this. Honestly, I fucking love that. I think that's absolutely incredible. So, as I said, Rashford, we know I think Rashford's going to go, by the way. I don't think Rashford stays. At all. And yes, let's get the 75 likes. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling confident tonight. I'm feeling very confident with that. I'm fed up with being a laughing stock down. We have fallen so far in such a short space of time. Do you know something, Steve? I've had the last 2 days of being furious, of being angry, of being upset. And actually, I kind of woke up this morning and I thought, look, we're just going to have to deal with what we've got. That's not me being a sympathizer for the sympathizer of Ineos and what they're looking at doing. That's me being a realist. We're just going to have to see what happens here. Moxie has been saying that. I'm kind of in the same situation, same boat as that. Anyone else worried about the Brian deal? Not so confident now, to be honest. Do you know something? I'm going to say this, Falsey. I'm actually feeling a little bit better today about that. A little bit better, a little bit jealous, but a little bit better, because as we've all seen in the last few hours, Morgan Gibbs-White to Spurs, here we go, bang like that, lickety split. Spurs have gone out there, spent the money, brought the player in, on the back of getting Kudus as well. Now, there's somebody I think will have something to say about that shortly, but we'll hold off on that. So I'm not too concerned, because I don't know if they go for this and now they've got Morgan Gibbs-White and Kudus. In fact, do you know, there's probably someone that will have more to say about the Kudus situation than me. So let's see. Let's have a look. See what I can find. Whoop! There he is. He's on mute. Can't hear you much. Can you hear me? You're on mute. Chat, can you hear him, or is it just me?
Now you can hear me.
There we go. There he is.
I'll say, man, I had to step outside to get some fresh air, because boy, I was pissing sweat, man. Bloody hell!
For this, mate. We're not built for this, are we? We're absolutely not built.
No. For this. Unbelievable, man.
You come at the right time, mate. I was just talking about it, so I'll get your opinion on this. So I've had this brainwave, Lawless. I've had this brainwave this morning. When I was driving to work and it was boiling hot, and I was listening to Bewitched on the radio. It was a good start to the morning, and I thought to myself, "Can't beat Bewitched. Come on, mate. C'est la vie." Do you know what I mean? And I was thinking, Jadon Sancho, let's extend his contract. Let's extend that contract for a year, right? Hear me on this. Let me land on this. Extend that contract for a year and take away the possibility of the end of the season he walks, which is what he wants. He walks and gets that big payoff. Extend that contract, take away the shirt, take away the number, the shirt number, and say to him, you train with the reserves, you train on your own, but we will not be playing you. We will not be putting you into the under-23s. You will sit there and you will rot for 2 years. Do you think his mind changes with that, Lawless?
It depends how stubborn he is as a person. So I don't know him, but he seems to like freedom. He seems to value freedom. And you want to take away that freedom. That might be enough, if he values freedom that much, to tip him over the edge and say, yeah, all right, you know what? Let me just get out of here. Let me just get me out. This guy, it might be enough to get him out. It's gonna be tough. And I look at Man United, and it's Spurs are doing a madness now. You just talking about Kudus, they're getting Gibbs-White. They've just been linked with Adam Wharton
I know. I just saw
which
that.
is a madness. So they've got apparently they've got 300 million from Saudi, which I need that needs investigating. But they're not coming anywhere near a Man United player. What's going on? Like all this money to spread, and nothing coming near Man United's way. And you'll see, and I'm looking at this, and I'm seeing like how quickly some of these deals are getting done with clubs. And still, I was on your stream. Was it last week now? Has it gone that quick? Was it
about a week? Yeah, about a week ago.
And you were sitting there going, we were talking about where's Brian? Where is Brian? And we're still here a week later saying, where's Brian?
Mate, he's apparently, the poor guy's even gone to America now in hope that when we go over there for our pre-season tour, he can get it all done. It's an absolute madness. But actually, because there was I don't know if you saw, there was news yesterday come out that the Brian deal might be in a bit of disarray because Visser maybe to Spurs. Mate, I beg, by the way. Do you think now that Spurs have signed Morgan Gibbs-White, do you think that stops the Visser news to Spurs? Because I can't see them getting both.
Yeah, surely. I mean, they've got a lot to build, I think. Look, they've got 300 million. I don't know how true that is, but they've got a lot of money to spend, right?
Where the fuck have they got this money from? I mean, like, yeah. I'm just begging for 10 million to get Brian done.
Oh my god! Yeah, I don't know how this works. Like, Saudi can just go, here's 300 million. Like, FFP, all that. How is this a thing? This just seems dodgy. I just literally just see it briefly. So I haven't investigated it. It sounds wrong, and we're sitting here begging and pleading people to take some players off our hands. Give us some money, please. Give us some money. We're outside the station with our little hat. Hoping someone will drop some shekels in it. Yeah, that's it.
Here we go.
I think you actually might need to do that, mate. Try and raise some transfer funds for the club.
Mate, honestly, I'm this close to doing a Just Giving page. Honestly, I'm not even joking. Oh, there we go. Forrester in for Visser now. Fucking hell. Honestly, if this is the problem. If Visser leaves Brentford, that'll change everything with United going for Brian, because they've come out and said they don't want to lose both players. I love this. It's Daniel Levy and his concert money. Imagine, absolutely imagine. All along, he's just been building a kitty. Obviously it's happened now. What are your thoughts on the Kudus deal? Are you reeling? Are you annoyed?
Yeah, man, I'm just annoyed that we were so weak on that transfer. Like, we've just let him go for less than we could have got. You know, and I've gone back and forth with some people and who say, well, he was shit last season, so, you know, it's about right. Like, oh, because he was shit, we should be grateful for it. But no, like, if you're in business, and I'm not claiming to be a super businessman, but anyone can see this, that if you can get more, if it looks like you can get more, hold out, stick to your guns. As time goes on, like they clearly want the player. You couldn't get another 5 to 10 million out of Spurs, but we've just found out they've been given 300 million pounds from Saudi. That's just dawned on me, and we could have get 10 million out of them. We could have get another 10 mil. They've got 300 million, man.
Mate, that was where I was last night. That was my head loss last night. Honestly,
yeah. Then literally, as I'm saying it, it just dawned on me, like, they've got 300 million for Saudi, and we let them have Kudus for 30 million less than his release clause. We could have got, surely. You've got Chelsea on the cusp of selling Madueke to Arsenal. They would have come in for him. Just come on, man.
Honestly, mate, we're both just getting shafted. I did not expect. And by the way, chat, day 37 since we were linked to Brian. So just let that sink in. Day 37. Wow. This poor bloke, man. Spurs are though. I mean, to be fair, who is it that says it here? Lucas says Spurs making quick moves, 2 big signings in 2 days, and our clubs are just sitting here doing nothing. It's so frustrating. Honestly, we, as you know, we look at Spurs and we do laugh. I mean, I can't laugh. They smashed us 4 times last season, but it's always been the thing about Spurs. But you have to say this transfer window seems to be ramping right up and really quick for them. If they get Adam Wharton as well, by the way, that changes the whole demographic of their team. That makes it scary.
Yeah, it does. It really does. I mean, I still think they need a striker and sort their defense out, but they're in a great position. They've got a lot of points to make, a lot of places on the league table to make up, and Frank is still an unknown quantity at that level, and they've got to balance out, Champions League in the league. We got Cornet. Oh, I forgot about Cornet. Oh my God. Give me a Cornetto. It'd be just about as much useful as in this weather. But it's they're doing business, and it's just come out of nowhere, mate.
For our teams, we looked at Spurs last season and they were sort of around the area we are. I'm looking at my club and I'm going, we should be riding the coattails of that. That's what we should be doing. We should be getting the business in to put ourselves straight back into a situation. Now, look, Spurs obviously got the money from Saudis by the looks of it. They also got the money from the Champions League for qualifying, something that Manchester United absolutely bottled. You wonder if they hadn't have bottled it, would it have been a whole different transfer window, by the way? Would it have been Delap coming to us because we got Champions League? Would we have got Cunha done quick? Would we have then got Brian done quick? It becomes a different transfer window. It just seems now that gap. I've said on this channel so many times that United now we're in a league below the top 5. Well, Spurs with these signings, that makes it a top 6 now because they are making the right signings. That makes 6 clubs that I look at and I think they're doing the things that they should be doing, whereas United are just doing absolutely nothing. So I'll put this up for the chat as well and for you, Lawless. This is at the moment, as it stands, this is how I see United lining up first game of the season against Arsenal.
Wow.
That's how I see it. That is honestly how I see it.
Yeah, that needs a lot of work. That's first game of the season against Arsenal. And this is the thing, yes, the transfer window ends at, was it 1st of September? Is it right? Yeah. Yes, it ends 1st of September. But there's games between the start of August and the 1st of September. These are points on the board that you need to be trying to get. And the longer you leave it, even though it's just July, before you know it, the season creeps up on you. You want to give these players a chance to come in, settle, bed, be ready. And the more you leave it, you're taking this long just to get flipping Brian, get released Brian. You need to get Brian.
Yes, good reference.
You're waiting this long to get him in. That's the tip of the iceberg of what you need to do. So you finally get Mbeumo in, right? Whenever that is going to be, this week, next week, and then you've got to go and get. You can't stop there. You got to go and get other players in. You still got to get the striker.
And this is the thing, that all of the journalists released. This was 2 weeks ago, so just before July. Once Brian's done, we're moving on to a striker. I'm terrified of how long it's going to take to bring the next player in, Lawless. I'm absolutely terrified of what happens next, and that's why. And I go back to that to that lineup at the moment. Unless we get Brian sorted soon, I would not be shocked if we saw that lineup. And you look at that. I'm putting Xerxes over Rasmus up top. I've got no worries about doing that. I think it changes the whole dynamics. I mean, you could put Casemiro in there instead of Ugarte, but that team, when you look at it, you're putting a whole lot of pressure on Diallo, Cunha to do the business for United, and I think that is a failure.
The only positive of that team, it's got a lot of the sort of washed up toxic players missing from it, But where your depth is in shambles. Where's the depth? And look at these pricks, by the way. If you can see this, this is Tottenham. It's a bit bright. They've posted a picture of a stool. You can see that? That's a stool. It's Tottenham's official account. I swear, if he does that stupid celebration on us, mate.
You're driving there and picking him up yourself, mate. Do you agree with this? Do you agree with this comment that Brentford are playing United? They're up in talks, isn't there?
This is how you do it. that's what you do with training. You don't just bend over at the first bid and like that's it. Like
We would. We can't even bend over at the first bid. We're trying to sell Rashford for fucking 40, 30 million. No one's coming.
Yeah, it's mad. So yeah, if you're Man United, like what was your last bid?
Was it 55? I think an add-on.
Just pay 60.
And this is the thing. It's 5 million, depending on conflicting reports. It's 5 million. We're out by 5 million.
Listen, that's probably a year's worth of lunches for the staff that you've probably cut. Like, come on.
Exactly. That's they've saved that on the vending machines they've taken out of Old Trafford because of the amount of staff they've bloody got rid of. Michael Adele says, don't you think this transfer window has been a drag for our club by the time we signed Brian? The excitement has gone. They have, and I've said this before, the excitement now with Brian has absolutely died a death. The poor bloke. I feel like he's unveiling. There's going to be one person there going, fucking finally, right, I can go and sort my stuff out now. It's just bonkers. But there's something else I wanted to... Let's just go through these comments, and there's something else I want to get your opinion on, mate. So what's this one here? Mike says, you think where we finished this season, the checkbook would have been out? The problem is, though, mate, we need a Friends Provident loan. If you're old enough to remember what that is to sign these players, we haven't even got the money to do that. Spurs have 5 signings, 2 of which were on loan last season. True, but they're still making the signings that we need. And Lucas has just said they've announced it as well.
That was the school picture. Yeah.
That's jokes, that is, isn't it? That's absolute jokes, that is. As a United fan for the transfer window, used to be exciting, now it's disappointing. And here she is, Queen Sophie is in the house. I hope you're well. And now, do you know something, Jamie? Now we've taken his squad number away. I genuinely feel like he won't be playing. But there's something I want to get your opinion on, Lawless. Garnacho has apparently been told he can come back to training with Manchester United. Now, is this a case of they're just being a good club and saying, come back, train, keep yourself fit, and you can go and sign somewhere? Or is there the slightest of slightest chances that Manchester United are realising we're not going to be able to get our transfers done that we thought we were going to here? We may have to keep one of the 4 big ones that we wanted to throw to the bin. And out of all of them, you'd have to say, I suppose, just for his age and for the fact that if he stays a season longer and the resale's there, Garnacho would be the one. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it's a tough one because, like I said, out of the 4, he's the one that, like, if you was going to keep any of them, he's the one that's most useful to keep, right? He's the one that's best to keep. So it's either the smart play, if they're being smart about it, and it's optics, because, you know, if we're bringing him back into the fold and he's training, okay, well, then maybe we look less desperate. Like, he's probably the most value in terms of a transfer fee. That's the most money you can get, I think, is Garnacho. And if he's training with the team, he's looking like, yeah, look, if he stays, he stays. We're happy with him. You may have to compromise less on the transfer fee. The other thing is, like you said, it's a case of we might not be able to get anywhere near what we want for this guy. Can we bring him back into the fold? I lean towards maybe the former, because I just don't see how there's a way back for him. Like, it just seems like there's a lot of water under the bridge. Everything that he said, everything Amorim said, I don't see. And look, anytime you can mend fences and build bridges and that, but there's just clearly an issue between those 2 that I don't think is easily solved. And Garnacho is not going to mature overnight like that. So I feel like they probably want to put the optics out there and say, right. I mean, like, obviously they're not doing that. If you're taking Rashford's squad number again and not give him another one, that's a clear signal. But Garnacho, the money's there. Like, you could get a 50 mil plus potentially off of his age and his potential. We've seen what he has to offer when he's on it, and maybe another club could get something out of him. So there's value there. So maybe that's what they're doing. It's
a bizarre one, because you're completely right, and I think this about. I genuinely feel like Amorim is the type of person that will hold a grudge. He's very emotional when he speaks. Sometimes people say it's a bit. He thinks before, acts on emotion as opposed to thinking it through first. I just don't see a world where Garnacho and Amorim work together. I feel like that's been completely muddied. I think Garnacho coming out with the Villa shirt with Rashford number 9 on the back was an absolute fuck you to United. It was an absolute, I couldn't give an absolute shit about this. But like I said, out of all of them, it's bizarre. Rashford's training at the club. Garnacho's on the plane, as Moxie says here. There was a picture saying coming. He wrote on the picture, was hoping he meant fucking off somewhere quick. It wasn't. He's coming back to Manchester. You've got Sancho. I don't know where Sancho is, to be honest. I haven't got a clue where he is. And to be quite frank, I don't care. Anthony is apparently still in Brazil. He's been given extra time. He's obviously just waiting for the call from Betis. Now, that could be a tough one because we just don't know if Betis have got the money, even though they have sold some players. Out of all of them, it wouldn't surprise me if Garnacho is on the preseason tour. It wouldn't surprise me. I feel like there's been no mention of getting rid of his squad number. They did that with Rashford. Obviously, it went to Cunha. But I just feel like, if there's anyone that's going to be on that tour, I think it could be Garnacho. I genuinely do.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't heard any concrete links for Garnacho. Rashford, I've heard the Barcelona links, which I think you may have. That may be not happening now, but I've heard concrete links. I'm sure. I don't know if I'm making this up or someone just suggested it, but I'm sure I heard Sancho to Fenerbahce.
No. Well, there was Rashford, wasn't there? They were saying Rashford to Fenerbahce, but Jose Mourinho's there. He hates him. Like dig him out on every time Jose Mourinho was on TV for a panelist thing. He'd just go for Rashford all the time. So I mean, look, I'd take it. I'd take anything at the moment. But question for you on those players, Lawless: Sancho, Rashford, and Garnacho, who would you take for West Ham?
Yeah, and if it's just on players' ability, if I'm taking wages out of it, right? It's such a tough one. I think Garnacho, he's younger, he's the youngest. If that shitty little attitude of his can be ironed out, he has, I think, the most potential there. Sancho, listen, I would take all of them. I'm not saying I wouldn't take one. Like, again, if wages aren't a thing. In reality, I'm not taking any of them. I don't know what Garnacho's on, but I know Sancho and Rashford is on an obscene.
I think Garner's on 50. I think he's on 50k a week.
Oh, really? Maybe that's part of the reason why he's got such a shitty little attitude. Maybe if we double that, he might his disposition might be a bit better. That's a plus when you're trying to sell him. The fact that he's not on mad wages like the others, and they haven't got to inherit that wage.
Yeah.
That's a positive. It's just like there doesn't seem to be anyone coming in for him, and you'd think Europe, Spain, somewhere would come in for Garnacho.
He wants to go, though, doesn't he? He said he wants to stay in the Prem. That's his priority. Like, and I still think he's holding out for Chelsea, and I think there is that. Well, Madueke to Arsenal, which still baffles me. That signing baffles me, but I wonder if they're moving him on to make room for Garnacho. I wonder if that's the end game here.
Yeah, do you know what? It's funny because I haven't heard like the concrete Chelsea Garnacho links. I'm not in that bubble, but I haven't heard them since January. It seemed to have quietened down, so I don't know whether it was one of them cases of it's a January transfer. Like, if this is something we can get done now, we'll do it. If we've got the summer, we'll spend that time to explore better. I don't know what you're going to ask for. Like, what would the fee? Would it be 50 mil for Garnacho?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's talks. I mean, if I'm United, to be honest, because of the age he is, I wouldn't mind taking like 45 million, but a sell-on clause. I wouldn't mind that. I think he's still young enough to go out there and potentially do something big. If he moves to like a Chelsea or if he moves to like a Villa or something like that, then you would say respectfully to those clubs, the big dream move for him would be Real Madrid, I think, when he's older. And I think if he could elevate himself to a stage where he's consistent and will be in, then the big comes in and United still reap from that. So I haven't got a problem with 45 million and a sell-on clause. There were talks of like 60, 70 million. Now, there's no way that Manchester United are selling that kid for 60, 70 million. There's absolutely no way. No club's doing that.
Yeah. I don't know what club is going to do that in this market where we've seen, like Alanga, the season that he's had going for 60, Kudus just going for 54, 55. You can get really good players for less. So yeah, Man United are, I think, going to have to bite the bullet. But it just seems, and this is the thing, like you're in a situation. We've finally got one of our sales, so hopefully our buying can start. You don't seem to be close enough to selling anyone, and I think that's holding you up.
Yeah.
You know, that's the problem. I think if you say you'd sold one of those players, you would have slapped down the 60.
Yeah, I agree. I think, but then like there's other talks. People say, oh well, and as Lucas says there about if we'd have won it, would we have signed him by now? People say, oh, wait, are you in danger of overpaying? It's $5 million. Like, I get it if Brentford turned around and said, you know something, actually, we want 90 million. Well, then you walk away. That's ridiculous. But this guy's had consistently got better and better as the season's gone on, and 20 Premier League goals last season. If we get him, it's weird. If we get him, it changes the way we play football. If we don't get him, it absolutely destroys the way we play football for next season. So it's bizarre.
Sometimes you just got to overpay. That's just the nature. Most transfers are when you overpay, unless they're like gems from from other leagues or whatever. When you're getting a known named player, especially from the Prem, you're overpaying. Like, that's just the nature of it. And if you're a serious club, you're not gonna quibble over 5 million. You're gonna go get it done. So I don't know if Man United are just waiting for the price to come down, or they're waiting to get a sale because they literally have not got that extra 5 million to spend.
That'd be bad. That'd be so embarrassing if that was the case. Andy says here, Amorim is weak in my opinion if he lets Garnacho train, but where is he going to play with Brian and Cunha and Cunha in the team? Well, let's get Brian sorted first, Andy. Jesus, let's get Brian sorted first. But I mean, look, if he was to play, he'd play in the 10 role, but I don't think he'd be relegated to coming off the bench. He wouldn't be starting games. And Carl, I know where you're going with this. I know exactly where you're going with this. You're going with the Vissa news, I think. We know West Ham got 50 million Lawless. West Ham can try. 50, yeah, mate, take him. You take Garnacho for 50 million, have it. Honestly, we don't care.
Yeah, listen, like, I wouldn't just be splashing down 50 million off the bat off Garnacho. I take him on loan with a view to buy, which doesn't do you much favors right now.
That with Sancho, and look what fucking happened there. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Big shout
Chelsea paid you to take him back.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing with Sancho. Like, imagine being a bloke who's gone on loan somewhere only for the club to say, we don't want you. We're paying your club to take you back. It baffles me. Hope you're well, Ginny Esther. What else have we got here? Rajat, hope you're well. Welcome. You must be new. If you are, guys, make sure you are hitting the like button and subscribe. We are nearly at 300 followers, which is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely massive work there. Did Garnacho not get a new deal like 1 year ago? I think it was a couple of years ago, because I remember the video of him and Ten Hag doing it. And Mbeumo what's that? Sorry, did I miss that? I saw something about Mbeumo there. Oh, Mbeumo 26 next month. Look, that's the thing, Brian. It's a massive. He is the right age. He is absolutely the right age to be coming to United now and doing that. Brighton says, I hope not the whole of Brighton. This Manchester United must be relegated. This because of the ownership is flush, because refused to buy players. I don't think we'll ever get relegated, but I don't think we're.
But you know what? Like, with the, you never want to be relegated. But when we last got relegated, we had a lot of overpaid players that thought highly of themselves. They were toxic in the dressing room. They didn't want to graft, and like it cleared them all out. That might be the only way, unless you just wait for their contracts to run out. Not that I'm saying you want to get relegated, but I'm saying that would be a benefit of getting relegated, is they would go.
Mate, I genuinely, I'm terrified. I'm terrified now if we don't make any signings, because I'm not saying we'll get relegated, but I think it could be another season of us being languishing around 12th. I genuinely don't see us having the players to push us up the table. Cunha can't do it all on his own. Absolutely not. Ben, you're right. Go and pay the extra 5 million. He'll get us back by finishing higher in the league. What we do without him. And this is one. This Richard Rios, right? 20 million. Have you seen him in the Club World Cup, Lawless? He's
a little bit.
Quality. He's quality. That's the sort of signing United should absolutely be going out there and doing. Instead of like flirting around this Edison from Atalanta for 60 million, go out and get this guy. Go out and absolutely get this guy. Now, there's a stat I want to read to you guys. Lawless, I'll read it to you in the chat. I want you to get involved in this, right? What is the significance of this? 50 against 1. It's not a Bonnie Blue video. 50 against 1, right? 50, 1.
50 against 1.
Yeah. 50 against 1.
I'm trying to think. Chances conceded versus chances created. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
It's much more angry for United than that.
50 against 1. Players signed versus sold.
You're not a million miles off. You're not a million miles off. There have been 50 transfers in the Premier League so far since July the 1st, and United have got fucking one of them.
Wow. 50 in the Premier League.
50 in the Prem, and United have one that was agreed in fucking June.
Yeah.
That's
the thing.
That's horrendous.
And it's like the Cunha signing has almost been forgotten about. And I think it's I think for Man United fans, when you got that done early, and it was a player that Man United fans have been wanting for a while.
Yeah.
And you got it done early. There was an expectation then that, okay, we're serious. This is where we kick on. We've got this in so early. Next one. Then you link with Mbeumo. Then Mbeumo's like, oh, we're bidding, we're going to get him. And then the expectation is, cool, we're going to get Mbeumo in early. And this is where our summer starts. And then, like you said, 37 days later, it's just Cunha.
I'm going to tell you something, Lawless, right? This is what I like in this transfer window too for Manchester United. You ready? WrestleMania night 2.
Yeah. That's kind of what it is, yeah.
WrestleMania night 2. All that excitement. Oh, this is going to be amazing. You finish and you go, well, that's a big part of the dog shit. And Raja, I'm not counting Diego Leon because we signed him in January. It was all done in January, that was technically. I thought it was how many goals Onana concedes for every one save he makes, says Ben. Oh, fuck it. We're stuck with him for another season, by the way, Lawless. We're absolutely... I don't get how this just gets so bad. Darren Potter says, Lawless, would you like us to sign... Lawless, would you sign Højlund? I definitely think we need another striker. He's young as well. Would you take Højlund?
See, this is the thing, and this is what I said about Nicholas Jackson. Like, yes, they have a lot of good attributes about their game, but unfortunately, none of them is putting the ball in the back of the net. So I'm not sure how many chances you created in relation to us last season, but Chelsea created a load of chances last season for Jackson, and his conversion rate was appalling. So at West Ham, boy, he's going to get less chances, and so even less goals. And same with Højlund. Like, Højlund has things about him that I think would suit us, but I'm sorry, like the way I've seen it, and I know sometimes the Man United shirt weighs heavy on players and they leave Man United and they do better. But I can't, we have to get this window spot on. We can't be taking risks like that and hoping that we just get another Lingard.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting. I mean, look, we're now on the 10th of July. When's your first preseason friendly? Ours is a week on Saturday. Week Saturday against Leeds.
Yeah, I think we've got Lille in a couple of weeks. I think
so underprepared. Like it's just ridiculously underprepared. I mean, like we've had most of our first team players come back today, but I genuinely I feel like the preseason it's going to be a mess. Unless we can get Brian done and get another one over the line. I fear for preseason. I think he'll blood the kids. I think which is absolutely fine, but there's zero excitement, and I think United are in danger of now this season going into it with maybe one full transfer being in Cunha, and then we all know what we know the story. We've seen it before. The results won't go the way that we hoped. Amorim will get sacked, and it'll just be back to square one. So I don't know, Lawless. I fear for it. And like obviously with you losing Kudus, is there any movements for players that you're going to bring in yet?
Well, we're linked with Diouf, who's a left back, which is like, and listen, I'm happy for it. It's fine. But out of all the positions we need, left back isn't anywhere near the top of priorities. We're also linked with the Japanese goalkeeper, Japan's goalkeeper. I can't remember what his bloody name is. Someone will remind me in the chat. So, like, we're linked with positions that it would be nice to get, but it's nowhere near the priority. We need a striker. We need a whole new midfield. Like, and I know you don't always get your first choice, your highest priorities first, but we need these positions before the start of the season, because we go Sunderland away, and then I think it's like something like Chelsea at home with this midfield, and we're like, no, don't worry, we still got time. We'll get him by the end of the window. We are fucked.
Is that the keeper United were linked with a couple of years ago?
I think it might be. I think he's Japan's Suzuki. Yeah, Japan's first choice.
We could have got him for like 500 grand a few years ago. Another complete balls up by the scouts at Manchester United. But Lawless, look at this, man. I forgot about this. Look at this. United on the 27th. I forgot we've got you pre-season in America.
Is that our first pre-season? I thought we had Lille first. I know we've got you in America. Yeah.
Versus United.
That's gonna be the clash of the fucking shitans. That is.
Yeah, it is, mate. Yeah, we got you then. Gee, the fucking class of the shite.
In MetLife Stadium.
When does it end? Mate, I tell you what though, no matter how shite we are, we'll still outsell more games than the Club World Cup have had over there. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly. Honestly.
Sunderland signed 6 players, Lawless. That'll spur 6 players. Like, how are these clubs going out there and spending? And Sunderland have paid like 35 M's for one player. How?
Sunderland. Where's Sunderland got all this flipping money from? We're sitting there like, please take one of our players so we can sign someone. Please, Spurs, discount. Take a discount so we can sign someone. 6 players, man.
They're asking if you're going to Lille, mate. You're going to the Lille friendly.
Nah, mate. I'm not. I'm boycotting that shit. I've obviously given up my season ticket. I'm not fucking going and putting any money in Sullivan's pocket. So I'm really tossing up the idea of whether to go to any games next season now. Maybe if I get a free ticket, but I just don't want to. I really don't want to put any money in their coffers, man. So fuck that friendly.
Last game I went to was United Villa. It was Kobe Mainoo's debut in the Carabao Cup, and since then I've point blank refused. I can't bring myself like you to go there and put money in the pockets of those people. I just can't do it. I absolutely can't do it. And you know, people always say, "Well, you're still wearing their shirts." I'm like, it's the fucking wife. She buys them. I know. I have to wear.
Yeah, listen. The thing is, I always tell people, listen, there's DHgate, there's all these other sites. If you really want a shirt, you can find a shirt without putting money in their pockets. Our shirt is so shit this year, I won't even fucking buy a Moody one. So I'm not even spending 15 quid on a fake one to buy it because I hate it that much. We got Ball Sports.
I think that's where Sunderland have got their money from. I forgot about that. And went for
30. We wanted him, but still, like, what they spent? I mean, they must have bought some bargains or something. But geez,
oh yeah, of course,
pure profit.
Would it be pure profit though? Because they got him from Birmingham, didn't they? Mind you, they got him for peanuts, didn't they?
Yeah, I think with the thing is as well. I don't know when they got him from Birmingham, but if they signed him and he's been there longer than the terms of the original contracts, and they gave him a new contract, it still works as a real profit. So even if you didn't come through the academy or free. So yeah, it's a madness, mate. It is a madness. And like I said, now Sunderland, we've got them first game of the season. They've got 6 new players in. We are significantly weaker than we were last season. We've let Creswell go. We've let Soufal go. We've let Antonio go. We've let Ings go. And there's one more I think I'm missing. I'm sure I'm missing someone. But we've let all these players go. Now we've sold Kudus. As it stands, we are far, far weaker than last season. And now we're going to Sunderland, who's got 6 new players in early. And it's their first game at home in the Premier League in years. We are screwed.
Look, I'm Manchester United fans in the chat. I'll put this to you. How can Manchester United sit there and say we are weaker, losing Johnny Evans, fucking Victor Lindelof and Christian Eriksen? We're in the same boat. Like, we are weaker.
Yeah, that's it. Because That's it. Your depth is significantly less, so your bench is weaker. You've got less options, so there's less players in the team, and we've still not added to them. So it's still not good enough. We've still got shit in the team that needs to go. Not address the problems.
And United do get some money from the Premier League.
120 quid. I just see that. Nah, Sophie, come on, man. I know you want to put money in your club, but when they're taking the piss, they're taking the piss. Like, you know what I mean? It's not a charity. Like, you want to, I'll spend 120 quid just to give Newcastle money. You're owned by Saudis, yeah? It's all right. You ain't got to spend 120 quid. That's disgusting.
Darren says West Ham Central has said that Keith Wyner's former Everton CEO has just said Paqueta will be cleared of all charges. What do you think of the shit West Ham shirt?
West Ham Central just took that from someone else and requoted it. Don't give him any credit for anything. That's all he does. He's just a shit aggregator. But yeah, so the former Everton CEO said Paqueta will be cleared of all charges. Yeah, hopefully that's true. But we have to sue. We have to sue because they've really fucked us about. Because we might have sold Paqueta and we might not have needed to sell Kudus, or we might not sell them on the cheap. They've cost us big time. So sue. The shit home kit, it has relegation written all over it. Boyle Sports, whatever that is, the basic shirt. Umbro are going out with a whimper. So good riddance. Let's see what New Balance do next year.
Let's have a look at it. Let me have a look at it.
It's bad, mate. It's bad. Boyle Sports. What the fuck is that? It looks like a championship kit. I don't know if they're just preempting us for relegation, and we could just keep that when we go down. And we've got this awful green fucking badge, this QuickBooks shite on the thing. There it is. Boyle Sports, everyone. And you could, if you scroll down, you'll see the I think Ward Prowse might be showing off the lovely big green fucking badge on the shoulder. And I was with Potts the other day, right? We did a This Is London night out. And I'm sitting, and Arsenal fans, they always got to wear the merch, right? They can't go anywhere without wearing their fucking stupid shirts because that's what they are. They're a t-shirt company. And I looked at the Visit Rwanda sleeve sponsor, and it was beautifully embedded into the design of the shirt. It was red on the white, green on claret. And you buy it sponsorless. I go, right, I'm going to buy it sponsorless. They just give it to you without the front sponsor. They still give you the shitty sleeve sponsor. I don't know what your sleeve sponsor is. Have you got it on there? Look at it. Look on your shirt. How integrated it is.
Yeah.
Sponsor. That is perfectly integrated into the shirt. That's a nice shirt.
I'll put it away, mate. Don't want to upset you too much with that.
Yeah, that's honestly, it's burning my eyes. Yeah, where's the blue? With claret and blue.
Let's get some of these comments. Yes, make sure you're hitting the likes up, people. Still a fair few of you in the chat. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button.
Look at it. It's so much nicer to you, this Everest. All he does in my comments is
I saw this before when I jumped onto yours with Tobes. I thought, fuck me, Everest. What's happened to you?
I know, he's got out for me.
This is so true, by the way. As Chappie says, this club is no longer about football. It is about business. That has been Manchester United for a long time, and I think it will continue that. Lynn says, late tonight, Dan, I come in and you're talking about Sunderland. It was only a moan. Don't worry. We're not saying we support them. We're not saying that we back them at all. Pro version with the champs. Oh, right, okay. Champions League.
There's no way you can. And what's the difference, Sophie? What's the difference between the pro shirt and just a replica? I want to know, if it feels different. Like, I've never worn a pro version.
Yeah, that's a good question. That is. Mustafa says, where do you predict West Ham to finish at the moment, Lawless?
People are, at the moment, we're going down. Like, with this squad, with the team the way it is, we're going down.
And Fabianski.
Yeah, Fabianski, thanks, Daz. Yeah, who we might as well have just kept as a backup. We might as well have kept Soufal.
Player version tend to be nice, people are saying. Okay, tonight.
But nice what? Nice feel?
Does it not chafe the nipples? I don't know, because mine he always caught mine. Yeah, always. Yeah. If someone comes on late here, mate, and we're sat here too.
It's like Babe Station. They're thinking they're watching Babe Station.
Scrolling like everyone can get off.
Yeah. That's a wild clip if someone fucking clips that.
That is, right. That is. The Glazers and the Liverpool fans are bought to destroy us. Yeah, I agree with that. Newcastle fans will be paying the extra 20 quid or so for the Champions League on the arms. Show it on the screen. We just showed you on the screen, I reckon. What else have we got here? We got a fair few bloody comments. Sorry, I've not missed this. Yeah, and as Lucas says, where's the blue?
Yeah.
Lynn says I bought the new Newcastle home shirt with the champ badge. It's 110 quid though, Lynn. Jesus.
Come on,
Lynn. So much money. And Lawless team is ready to play under Dyche.
Oh. That's how we look. It looks like a Burnley kit. It does. That looks like a Burnley kit. You might as well get him in.
Imagine Dyche with you, like Jesus Christ. Umbro gave us some shit kits over the years, says Darren. And what else have we got? Our training kit looks more better than our home kit. Okay, so it's the fitting, apparently. The fitting for one thing, the pro shirts are fitted SO size up. What's that?
Yeah, so they're not made for fat bastards like us.
Oh, right. Fair enough.
That's what you got to have a player's physique.
I have got a player's physique, but a player from like the 1970s.
You got a Luke Shaw physique. You got a Luke Shaw.
I have, mate. I have. I play as much football as he does. Lawless, you can't deny that I push for likes on your channel as much as you can.
Yeah, all right. Fair enough. That's a fair trade. I appreciate it.
And this, do you know something? I haven't really spoken about this because I'll be honest. I feel like Manchester United dodged the biggest of bullets known to man. The fact that they have rejected the Amazon documentary. Now, I'm telling you what. Yeah, for you. As soon as I saw we were involved, I thought, if you've watched The Office, when he's like, "Oh fucking hell," that is exactly how I felt. I thought that would have absolutely they had to. That would have destroyed behind the scenes. That would have destroyed Amorim with the players. And I think the players themselves, I think it would have shown the club in the wrong light. So I'm chuffed to bits. That's the only bit of good news I've had this fucking past 2 or 3 weeks. That is about Manchester United.
I think that would have won a BAFTA.
Yeah, I think it would have been.
That would have been pure cinema. I really will. And the thing is, I've wished that we had one because ours would be fucking box office. Like if with Sullivan. I would love to see the shit show behind the scenes that we are, and I would love to see the shit show behind the scenes you are. I'd love to see Radcliffe going in, just fucking taking everyone's rights away, taking everything away from them. He is like, do you know, have you ever seen Office Space?
Yeah.
He's like the boss in Office Space coming around going, yeah, I'm going to need to take that stapler away. I'm going to need to do that stapler.
Mate. I'm convinced. I'm not convinced. Sorry, I'm shocked he hasn't put parking wardens over at Old Trafford Carrington Training Ground. I'm surprised he doesn't charge them to fucking park there. You know those like machines you have to go and buy and like pay for a ticket. I'm amazed.
Yeah.
Do that there.
Yeah,
Paul. Oh, sorry, Raj. It says Anthony Elanga is a great signing for Newcastle United, no doubt. Well, he is for United because we get a bit of money for that. And do you think Moyes will raid Lawless?
I don't think he'll right. I think he'll come in and try and sign Souček, right? Which again, Souček, he serves a function. I think off the bench, he scores goals. People know what I think about him on the ball, but it just means that we need to not cave in and sell him on the cheap for like 10 mil. We need to hold out for like 20 or something.
How old is he now?
I think he's like 30. He's 29-ish, 30, around that age.
Comment here. He took the words right out of my mouth with this, actually, because I was just about to say, is Souček Moyes' Fellaini?
Yeah.
I think he is, isn't he? I think he played in the same sort of way, didn't he, as Fellaini?
Yeah. Well, it worked well when we was counter-attacking and he made those late runs into the box and he was banging in goals. As soon as we tried to have a bit more of the ball when we're in possession, he's just useless, like in possession, really, for the most part.
I've got to talk to you about this, Daniel Bartholomew Lawless. I have got to talk to you about this. I've just made up your middle name for you, mate.
Well, it does begin with a B, but it's not Bob.
Does it? I need to talk to you about this because I saw this the other night. How to explain?
I see. Yeah, there was a big uproar about this, right? D posted a snippet out of context, snippet, right? We haven't seen anyone else's snippets yet, right? Listen, I'm not gonna claim to be a baller.
You don't fucking need to.
I never claimed to be a baller, right? I've never. If I sat there and was like, "Yeah, listen, mate, when I get on the ball, no one can best me. Like, no one can touch me." I haven't played football in probably about 15 years or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not the sport that I do physically. It's not the sport that I actually do. So yeah, listen, roast me, cook me. However, I'm in jeans. I'm sweating. I've got all these clowns behind me screaming in my ear rolls, right? It's the pressure. Like, these balls, they fucking fly at. You've got 5 seconds to hit the target. You can't sit there, take your time, line it up. So I'm sitting there like, okay, it's coming. Where's the ball come? When's it coming? When's it coming? It's coming. Right, shit, fuck. Like, get it right. You know what I mean? So there's circumstances. So listen, maybe I'll go and try and redeem myself one day. We'll see.
Mate, it looked like you had fun with it, though. I thought it looked like you were enjoying it.
I just think like everyone was so respectful for each other's turn that every time like I was stepped up, I was screaming and shouting in my ears, and that's just not on.
Where was that?
Toca Social at the O2.
Oh, that's where you were. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Next time I'm going full kit. Fully prepared.
What? You're going this kit?
Yeah, I don't know about that kit. I don't know. That might make me play worse. That might bring my levels down.
Couple of comments before we close. So Andy says if we did have a documentary, it would be on Comedy Central. I think you're right with that, and there would be a BAFTA for comedy. What's there? There's one here says Sullivan versus Tim Steiden. Yeah, that's I mean, you were so gassed for that guy, weren't you? You were so gassed. For him.
I think he's looked good since leaving West Ham, and it just seemed that Sullivan looks like a clown. You know, Sullivan was so.
You can't be any worse than Kudus. So
yes, let the Kudus slander start now. It begins. Yeah.
Is this going to be as bad as the Trent slander? Because I'm seeing, honestly, there are people watching and writing stuff minute down by minute for this guy when he's playing at the moment.
Listen, I'll be watching very closely. I'll be waiting for him to fall and stumble. And someone said we don't need to replace Kudus per se, because technically he played in the same position as Bowen. Now he didn't. Obviously, they played together, but that was his strongest position was in Bowen's position. So we need to not replace Kudus, what Kudus was doing. We need to sign a 10. We need to sign someone who's an out-and-out 10, an out-and-out attacking midfielder, whilst keeping Bowen where he is, whilst signing another left winger, because we don't know if Somerville's going to stay fit and getting cover. And we'll see. We'll see, man. But Kudus, the agenda, like I said to Tobes, the agenda officially starts now.
I think it's going to be a buzzing one for you. I think you'll definitely be keeping an eye on that. I think, look, we're on day 37. Can day 38 be the day that Manchester United finally, in the everlasting words, release Brian? I genuinely can't believe I've not thought about that before as well.
Yeah, that's it is. Yeah, we need to get the clip. We need to get the clip from Life of Brian.
I think we can, though, because he's on a bloody crucifix when they're shouting at him, aren't they?
No. Remember,
it's
it
in
was
the Colosseum, isn't it? It's in the Colosseum.
It's in the road. There, all the crowd are outside the palace or whatever it is, and
because they're like, what do they say? Release Wadwick, release
Wadwick. Yeah. If you haven't seen Monty Python,
reindeers and
but that clip, you just take that. We're like, release Brian, and he's like, release Brian. I think that should be the announcement video.
Imagine
if it was Burnley, they would do it.
Yeah, 100%. I'd do it on here, but I think I'd get.
I was going to say quickly, if it gets to day 50, I think you've got to do a special. There's got to be some sort of special thing for if it gets. We're sitting there on day 50 and Brian has not been released. Then you've got to do something some sort of special thing for day 50. That's mad.
Completely agree. Well, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Quick news before we go, just to let you know that we will be doing a Manchester United panel from next Wednesday onwards. So once a week, there is going to be a panel of Reds on here, and we are going to be discussing probably no fucking signings, but we will be discussing Manchester United. Before I let you go, Lawless, where can we find you, my friend? And thank you very much for coming on.
At the Lawless on Twitter, West Ham Fan TV. Go and see the Kudders video. And as you know, Dan, Lawless Live just had a video with Tobes, Tapping Tobes, who was very, very happy, very giddy, the opposite to me. So go check that out, Lawless Live with Tapping Tobes.
Thank you very much. Well, guys, on the way out, if you're watching this back, make sure you like and comment. And as I said, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep this rolling. We are so close to 300 subscribers. Other than that, guys, dear 37 in the Big Brother house, and Dan United is saying, no, Brian. Dan United out, Brian Brigade out. See you later. Bye-bye.